And I wish all mothers to know that postpartum depression is real. Postpartum depression is real.
The first 1 month, I don't even think I slept. You know when you're suffocating and you can't breathe, and you're like, you want to speak out, like, help me, but you don't know the right words to say. So like, the tears were like my escape route. I was using the tears to get out of whatever it is that was going on with me.
My name is Fikayo, Dr. Manwa. I'm a consultant psychiatrist, and what else? I work in one of the general hospitals in Lagos State as the consultant psychiatrist here. Postpartum means basically after birth. Then depression basically is also is actually a mental health disorder where you have major thing is the person is unhappy, very unhappy.
When did you first start to notice that something was different, that she was not fine?
As soon as we left the hospital and got back home, I did not see that fire, that joy that I was expecting for her, because this was what we've been expecting for a while.
It all started after 3 months after I put to birth. That was last year.
So you have low mood, low energy, and loss of interest in normal things that would interest the person. So when you have the symptom just after birth, is what we call postpartum depression.
A week after my child's naming, you know, we do naming here, naming ceremony. We were back at the hospital again just for normal checkup, and my baby was jaundiced, and we had to stay back in the hospital for 21 days. And I tell you, that was where everything. I couldn't sleep. To fall asleep is problem. I'll be looking at my baby like this and be crying. I cry like every other day, every day. Like out of 24 hours, I can tell you I'll cry for like 10 hours every day.
We have 3 major criteria, or the 3 major symptoms rather. So that's the low mood, meaning the person is unhappy, cannot say why you're unhappy. Usually when you're unhappy, you can give a reason for being unhappy, but this one you can't just say, and it's something that is persistent. It has to be persistent and over at least 2 weeks. You know, then you also have low energy levels, so you feel very tired. Person finds it difficult to get up from bed in the morning. You know, you're not able to do a lot of things. Then you also have the final one is what we call loss of interest in pleasurable activities. So what would usually interest you no longer interests you. So like watching TV doesn't give you that joy or satisfaction you have anymore.
Whenever visitors come to see me, I wouldn't want to see anybody. I'll just tell my mom to talk to them. I wouldn't want to see anybody. Even if I'm forced to come and talk to them, to see them, I would just sit down. So sad. I was feeling so sad. I wouldn't want to discuss with anybody. I would just stay inside.
Then I found out that even my relationship with God is broken. I don't even want to pray. I don't even want to talk. Reading my Quran, all those stuff, I just look at them like, where was God when all these things were happening to me? Fine, he knows about it. No leaves fall without his permission. You understand? So I lost so many things. I don't go out. I don't eat. I don't take care of myself. I can do 2 days without bathing.
First things first, let me just say that there is no known cause for postpartum depression, which is, so there are just various risk factors. So one of the risk factors will be, as obviously a woman who has just given birth. You know, so we have also have people who have had a history of mental health before. So people who have had depression, anxiety are more prone to this.
Since we got married, we did things together, and whatever she's passing through, I want to feel it also. So it was very easy for me to identify that this is a major problem. It was more difficult because no one seemed to know what was wrong with her. And that was what made it most challenging. I didn't understand that someone could have a situation this difficult and it was not easily identified, diagnosed at the hospital.
I remember my mom telling me, Wale, is this your first child? You know, all those kind of things. Even presently, my mom doesn't know I'm still very much in it. Everybody around me feels Abiba is better, she has healed completely. But I had to hide just for my mom to be happy.
Sometimes we believe that having people around you is social support, but that's different. Social support, it means that you have people you can call upon. Sometimes actually in Africa, Nigeria, you have your family members or your husband's family members coming to help you, but you find out you're the one doing most of the things. The mother-in-law is just there, literally just there, but you're the one that has to cook for her, cook for the baby, clean the house, you know.
Even me, when it all started, I wish I had talked to somebody before it got so severe. Do you get?
Because one thing we realize, what people will expect is when you have a child, you should be excited. Not everybody has that. So a lot of people are not aware of this, you know, we need men to actually take notice of this. You find out your wife is crying for no reason. She's unnecessarily sad. Sometimes she's even thinking of killing herself, killing the child. Those are things that you need to notice and also try and seek help for her whenever you notice things like that.
Like, I tried to harm him truly.
You did?
Yes. Out of that 3 good months, I can count the number of times I spent with my baby. And he later got to know that I am depressed. So he doesn't want to leave me and the baby alone in the house. So even when he's going out, he goes out with the baby. That was the day he told me, I fear that you might throw the baby from your balcony. But for my son, I keep blaming myself why do I have him? So there was a day we were together and I was thinking deeply, and I just looked at him and I tried to harm him. But you know,
What did you try to do?
I don't know how to put it, as in,
Strangle him?
I tried to strangle him. But because we are Muslim, every action you take, you are going to give account of it. That was what stopped me. Don't forget that I've not been taking any medication.
Yeah.
I've not been taking any medication. It was just me.
Major thing actually when it comes to mental health is stigma. Even within doctors, psychiatrists are more or less stigmatized. So once you hear anything mental health, people are like, oh, you think I'm crazy? You know, so that stigma alone prevents people from, even if there's a problem, there's that, you know, that stigma. So the family thinks, oh, this person is mental or this person is crazy.
When I look back, I find it so hard. So that was the only reason I want to leave, because of my mom.
But when you have a child, actually for first timers, things are totally different. You know, so you have to take care of the child. You know, so what the spouse needs to do is to be very hands-on. We come from a culture where everything falls on the woman. You know, so the best thing is maybe the man is able to pay for someone to help the woman, or sometimes you have some family member coming over. But for women, we find out that if you find your husband or your spouse being there, it makes things a whole lot easier.
So that was the only reason I want to leave. So by December, when everything was still going on, you know, every day when you are not treating your illness, you go deeper in it. So by December, I couldn't bear it anymore. I ran to an aunt. She's like a family friend to us, but we all are together. She knows about everything too. And she told me, Abby, you have to go to psychiatric home. I was like, am I mad? To do what again? And she said that is the only place they can treat me. And I asked her, will I ever be normal again? Am I going to be mad for the rest of my life? And she said no. And I came back home, I told my husband. My husband took me to Yaba home.
So if we can advise the spouse, please help out with your wife. Same way we don't stigmatize people who have diabetes, or same way we don't stigmatize people that have hypertension. These are also chronic illnesses. So if we begin to see mental health as these illnesses, we will find out that things actually can progress.
Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Mala.
First thing I would say, feel something, say something. I wish I had talked out earlier. I wish I had seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist earlier before sinking deep in it. Knowledge is power. I wish I had known about mental health before getting into it.